So good afternoon, everyone. Quick recap on two important data points. Since some of you have some doubt, so I'll just quickly recap what I have done. So this is a new workspace I have opened. Now let's say I'm importing some multiple files. So data, then connect to multiple files. Then from there, just say files in specified folder. So it will be use all these CSV. Vijesh. So you see, all this CSV files, everything has been imported here. Now, this all the applications. These are some different data. So all the data that I have in that folder, so everything has been imported to the to this workspace. Okay. So say one more column. So let's say the multiple ASCII files I have here. So here I have multiple ASCII files. So I started the four files. All the four. I'm starting with, let's say, three. I'm starting with three. First three. Add files. Okay. Now you have options here. Different options. You see these options. Oh, the this add sparklines is just the preview of your graphs. So if you don't want it, you can say no or yes. So there is three options: no, yes, and yes if the data is more than 50. Now, if you select the third line, so only if your data have more than 50 row, then only you will see the spark lines. Otherwise, you won't get any spark. No is you don't have any. Yes, it's default. There is irrespective of number of data sets. So irrespective number of data sets, you will see that the spark line. So let's skip this one. Now the first file import mode. I have three files: data one, data two, data three. The first you have to give the two mode import mode. One is first file, then the next one is the subsequent file. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somebody into file. Number of files given. So first file data modes, same things. The data modes are different. Like the replace the existing data, whatever the data you have. So replace the existing data, then new box, new sheet, new column, new rows. So replace the existing data means like if your first file having the first file will replace the number of columns it has in that file, it will automatically replace the first two columns of your existing data. If your first file have two columns, okay. Then now if you select the new book, then it will create a new book, new workbook. Like a separate sheet, a separate workbook will be created. Then the new sheet is within the workbook. It will have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, something like that. Okay. Then you have new columns within the within a single sheet. It will create new column. Then for the first data set, like you have column 1, column 2. Then for second, it will column 3, column 4. Then column 5, column 6. Accordingly, it will come. Okay. So let's see one. Let's say the first one, start a new book. Then second one, start new columns. From second data points on all, start new columns. Click on OK. You see, this is the first one. Okay, new book. It has created a new book. Then second data set, third data set. Now let's say I want to import one more file again. So again, just go to multiple as key. So now I am interested to import the data for .txt. Now just see the for data of, just remember notice the data of first two columns. Okay, so you will see the difference of these options. Okay, you see, let's say now I am, if I select replace the existing data, you see before that the data points is 10, 10.02. Just see that. See that first two columns has been replaced by my new data set, because I have selected this replace my existing data. The book, the input product selected replace the existing data, so it has replaced my first two data set, right? Now, so let us import one more file. Now again, if I do that data 1, create a new sheet. Let's say create a new sheet. See, now you have it's separate sheet. See, your previous data was in that in this sheet, and a new data sheet were created by the name of data 1. Okay, so this is for the create new sheet. Now let's say start new column. Now it has created a new column. It was previously it was 2. Now it becomes 4 column, because my data 1 was data 1 having 2 columns, so it added 2 more columns to the current sheet. Okay. Any doubt, किसका? Okay, then let me show you again how to create an template one more time. Okay, so now here I have data of three y-axis and y-axis have time and pressure, time and efficiency data set. So for three different models. The unit, let's say unit time 60 seconds. So let's create a line. Sorry. Data set data efficiency V2. So this is the plot for a three different Y, model A, model B, and C. Now let us customize this graph first. Then we will save it as a template. Okay, first axis. Now horizontal axis, let's say 0 to 5, and we'll keep it as a linear. Then vertical 0 to 1. Now one more thing, see here you have the major axis, the type by increment by count. So by increment, mostly we do the by increment. Let's say I have 0 to 5. In my axis I have 0 to 5. So I want my axis to showing that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the increment will be 1. So accordingly you can change. Now let's say if you want instead of 1, if you want it 0.5 for increment of 0.5, you see the changes here. Now it is 0 to 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now it will become 0, 0.5, see 0.5, 1, 1, 2. So accordingly you can change your increment, whatever the increment you want, and how you want your graph look like. The same thing verticals, here it has a 0.2 instead of 0.2, if you make it a 0.25, so it will become 0.25575, then 1. So then tick labels. So for tick level, let's say my bottom and left, the style of bottom and left are same. So what you can do, you press Control and then select bottom and left. So you can do it both at a time. So since the formatting of those both the axes are same, the type will be a numeric, and this values are the decimal points. Now the format. So let's say the Times New Roman, the size is 24, bold. So you can change your the text size accordingly. Click apply. Table you don't need, minor text in it. Now top and right. So top and right not yet showed here. So select show. So once you select top and right as a show, then see the axis values are here, right? But generally we don't need that, right? So that is why it is the default setting is it is disabled. So if you have multiple x and y axis, then you can give it. Then come to title. So the title, now title I have only and in left and bottom, right? Axis title I have only left and bottom. So see the top and right, the shows is disabled. So bottom is showed, show is enabled, and color you can change your color if you want. Size, let's make the size as 28. My the axis major tick is 24, so I have to make it title as a 28. See the changes is there. Then let's the left, for left similarly 28. So grid lines, keep it as it is. Grid lines you don't until unless you have some special requirements, you don't need to do anything. Next, coming to the line and ticks. So line and ticks, same for line and ticks you have bottom and left. Let's say the bottom and left you have the same format. So thickness and keeping at 3. Then it is at the bottom little bit same, and then in for both the cases major and minor ticks I want as an in and the thickness. So you see my bottom axis and left axis changes accordingly. Same things for top and right. Let's say the top and right is same. So here right now the top and bottom top and right axis are not there, right? So because it's disabled here, so if you select, click on it, show line 3. So the major axis, let's say none. We don't need any major axis or minor axis, minor ticks. Apply. So this is the one way to format it. Other way is that you click on that. For example, so you want this to change some formatting changes you want here. So click on it, then right click, and you have properties options. Okay. So click on the properties option. Now you have this. The formatting bars. Text object formatting bar. So here you can change accordingly, like you want to anything you want to change. So let's say I will make it a bold. Now if you want some this will be important when, like, if you have some like some mathematical expression in your Excel table. For example, sometimes what like efficiency, if I the efficiency, if I notation of efficiency, for example, ED, please subscript or superscript D, something like that. So you cannot do it as a text, right? For doing that, so you right click on the axis, either it's a left axis or right axis, whatever. Then click on the properties. Now from there you have different symbols. Whatever the symbols you have, different symbols here in that. Here you have in symbol and all the symbols are there. Mostly all the symbols are there. And then now if for example, so you want a subscript, comma, E, subscript. So this is the subscript sign. Here you have to do the whatever the subscript is, subscript D. And you want this also bold. So select it and keep it a bold. Apply. Yes. वन जो डेटा है वो इनपुट करेगा. Okay, so if you want some notations or some the mathematical expression, so that you can do it. So see the efficiency, if the notations or efficiency is D, then you can do it here. Same for this also. And accordingly, this point also, instead of doing that axis layers, you can directly right click on it, select, then right click, properties. You will have all these options that whatever you have seen on the axis setups. Okay. So now coming to the plot area. Okay. So let's say the plot area here. The plot area, either you can go from there, right clicking and that layer properties, or you just double click on it. You will have your layer properties. Just double click on the plot area, you will have the double click. So now see the layer, in layer I have three different plot, right? So select one. Now see that when you are dealing with multiple legend, so remember one thing, there is in the group menu you have to see edit mode, you have independent, you have dependent. Okay, so now whatever, if your dependent is enabled, so whatever changes you are making in one plot, that will automatically it will change the other two plot itself. So if I am considering here model A, model B, model C, if I am changing the plot type, for example, instead of for a plot type here I have line. So instead of line, if I am changing the model A plot type as a symbol, and the dependent is enabled, so that plot B, model B and model C also, it will automatically change the plot type. So if you want any particular, for want to change the format of particular graph, then you have to select this independent mode. Dependent is all the graphs are depends to each other. Independent, now now it is independent. Now you can change accordingly whatever you want. Okay, so let's say let's first see the dependent one. So in the dependent, so instead of line, so I'm selected the model A graph, right? So instead of line, if I give it an scatter, see all these three has changes because it has dependent is enabled. Now let's say independent and the scatter. Okay, so now edit mode is independent. So let's say the edit independent. So here, if I change the, let's say the style instead of solid style, I'm making the model C at dash. Now see, if I apply it, only the model C graphs has been changed, right? From solid line to dash line. Okay. Then similarly for two, if I for differentiating purpose, let's make it a dot. So one I have solid lines, one dot, one dash. Okay. So from here you can change the color of your graphs. If you right now it has a blue, black, and red. Now if you want to change it, you can also change your plot. Now here, so this is your legend. Now legend, you see the different option is there when you select your legend. So there is different option is there. This one, reconstruct your legend. Now let's say like you have made some changes to your graph. Okay, some changes you have made to your graph. Now you want to reconstruct your graph. Instead of three columns, you have added one more column. So you want to reconstruct your. Line plus symbol selected. Whatever the line plus symbol, then you have line and symbol also. Scatter, which you have only symbol and line. That is fine. Okay, so the reconstruct one. Instead, if you have made some changes, either you add some columns or you have removed some columns. So if you once you select the reconstruct, then the origins will reconstruct your legend. Okay. Now second one. So data plot legend translation mode. So it will we'll discuss it later. Then third, reverse. Reverse is now your legend is model A, B, C. Now if you reverse it, then it will become CBA. Click on that. So instead of ABC, it becomes CBA. Now this one arrange in horizontal. Now it is arranged in vertical, right? The vertical you selected arrange it will become arranged in horizontal. Okay. Now the next one is show and hide. So you can hide your legend if you don't need any legend in that. Now for example, that first plot you have plotted. So we have only one legend. So it's like it doesn't make any sense having one legend in that. So in that case, you can hide your legend. Okay. And hide legends, you have different options. Now, some cases you might don't know, like you have line and symbols. So you don't want the symbols, but you want the line in the symbol. So in that you can do that. You have options here. Hide legend for fitted cups, hide legend symbols, hide legend for function plots. So you have different options. So as per your requirements, you can change all this. You have different options. So if you don't want it, you just click on this show legend. Then you have, see, now here you have, so attached to plots. Now the legend to attach to your each plot. if you want your legend, like let's say instead of here you want the model a legend here like attached to the plot. So for that you select on select this one. This one is attached to plot. Now you see the model A, B, C was attached to your plot. So by dragging it, you can change the locations. If you want here or here, you can drag it and change it the locations. And these are the formatting just the formatting. All these things are formatting only the text format. Font size increase decrease, then this one's the font colors. If you want to change the font color, so this one's the frame, so that you want the frame in order. Right now it has a rectangular frame. Now if you don't want the frames, you can disable the frame. So this is a sub menu. Remember, these things is a sub menu. Same things, a detail menu. If you select and then right click on the properties, you will have the detail menu here. Okay, so whatever you need accordingly, you can do that. For example, let's say I'm changes it 22 to 24. Click on apply.
हुआ है एक यहाँ पे बोल रहा मैं मोर एक मेरा अरे मैं नहीं कर रही कुछ भी यार मेरे पास की नहीं है अभी मेरे को पता अपनी औकात का मेरे से नहीं होगी पीएचडी इट्स नॉट इजी एट ऑल जितना तुझे आसान लगता है ना नहीं लगता है
So let's feed this to the page 0.05. A quick suggestion, like if you have this kind of plot, so the legends you can differentiate either by color or symbols or by different line type. But generally, the suggestion is that either you do it with symbol or by different the connected set, the straight lines and the dotted dots. Because if you convert it to the grayscale, the black and white scale, if you are differentiated only with the color, nobody can differentiate it, whether which one represent which, right? So because so that you are doing it for the display or it is for your thesis. So if you paint it in black and white, then you won't be able to differentiate it. So instead of having it only based on the color, either if your data set, if you have a large number of data, then you do it line, different types of line, dash, dot, dot, or if you have the number of data sets are less, then you can use it a symbol or line symbol. So that will be like in grayscale also you can differentiate within a differentiate. Okay, so now let's say after now I want to add one more column in that. Now I have three, so I want to add one more column. So you may require after once you plot that you may require to plot a one more column. So first add their column in the data sheet. So this is my data sheet here, right? So the data sheet I have now. Let's say I have adding one more column here. This will be model D. So I'm adding some dummy values. So this is now I have added here. Now go to the graph. So now what you have to do? You need to add one more columns here. Dummy values. Some dummy values. Sorry. Some dummy values. I have created some dummy values. Okay, so now to add one more columns, so what you click on that your layer button, layer icon. So that is your one. So double click on it. So here you have all this. See. Now I have this. This is my data set, right? So this it is in E column. So this E I want to add now. So just select this column that you want to add. So select this column, then click on this add plot. This forward row is your add plot. Add. Click on apply. Since the datas are different, so that is why. Data some noisy data. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm giving it examples in the next one. I have some noisy data. So now let's save it as an template. Then I'll show you how to add more data set here. So again, for doing that, file, then go to save template as. So let's say this is line. Just change the locations. So category, instead of in category, you define the user defined category. Okay, then click on OK. So now you will see in the plot menu. Plot user template, and you have see that my template with line, line with legend. So this is just now I have created this. Okay. So so you can use this template multiple time. You don't need to do every time. Just but you have to adjust your axis values, like the range of your axis values. So when you'll be creating your new graphs, so that access value it will take based on the data that you have. Okay. So now if you want to crop some data, for example, like yeah, it will start from if your data has 0 to 5, then it will start from minus 0.5 to 5.5. If you don't need that minus 0.5 to 0 parts and 5 to 5.5, so you have to trim it. That you need to do it for every graph. If you want to do it. Otherwise, you can keep it as it is. It's up to you. Okay. Now, one more thing. Now, if you now here the template I have created is for three y axis, three y columns, right? Y three y columns. Now, if you are plotting for two y columns, so one you plot two y columns. Let me show you that. Let's say I'm using the same template that I have created. I'm plotting two y column. Plot. So you see the third legend is missing, so that is why it's giving the percentage of 3. That is your third legend, because the third legend is missing. So if your I have created it for 3. Now if it is less than 3, then you have to reconstruct your legend. So just select it and then click on reconstruct your legend. Then it will reconstruct it accordingly. Okay. Now see here again you have to adjust your the axis values. Again you have taken minus 0.5 to 5.5. Here is also it has taken some minus negative values, right? So you have to adjust it accordingly. But you don't need to do this other formattings like the font size and all these things. You don't need to do that. But these things you have to do it for every graph based on, because the numbers are different, and if it is number are same, then it will come as it is. So now let me show how to add one more columns here. Right now here in my columns I have 3 axes, right? I have 3 axes, 3 y axis, but I have plotted 2. Now I want to add the third y also. The same here. Click on it. Then this efficiency data. So these data, see thus in these two plot the bold these two are already there in my graph. Okay, are already there. Now in data efficiency V2. Now D1 select the D1, then click on the add plot, the forward arrow, then click on apply. Sorry. You see the one more columns are added to that. Again that reconstruct. Okay, so till now any doubt?
Actually, you have added the third column, na? But it is showing 4%, means fourth column also.
Fourth column. So I have mistakenly have added 2 more columns. So I deleted it. You just add. We select the D. That's the D only. The DY only. If you are working with the data efficiency V2, so D only. I have actually by mistakes I have selected 2. So that is why it does like that. Okay, so another option is there for without formatting each and every graph. So once you format, like you can copy your format of one particular graph and then paste it to another graph. So let's say this I want to copy the formatting, only the formatting of this graph. So here you have copy format options. If you right click on the plot, plot, then you have copy format options. So here I have different options. Whether you want to copy the page backgrounds or the legend translation mode, or you want to backgrounds, dimensions, scales, colors, fonts, all style format, or all. You have different options. What do you want to copy? So let's say I have copied all the formats here, and I'm plotting a new plot, normal plot, without using our the whatever we have created the that template. So I am just from the inbuilt basic line. Okay, so this is my plot. So now what I will do, again right click on it. Now you have option C, you have option paste format. I have copied format from my previous graph and then paste the format. See the formattings, the whatever the formats I have from the previous graph, the same formats are pasted here. So you see here only the formatting part has been pasted, because in my previous graphs the lines are, one was dotted line, one was there. So only the format you can paste. But in the template, whatever the template we have created, it contains everything. Your layer properties, your axis properties, everything in the template. But if you are copying formatting, then only mostly the text format and the translation format. Like how your axis will look like, how many axes you want to show, all these things.
सर
Yes.
सर जो ये ग्राफ है, ये जो आपने नया डेटा सिलेक्ट किया उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग आया है या पुराने वाला डेटा ही है ये?
सेम जो डेटा एफिशिएंसी V2 उसी को मैंने रिप्लॉट किया है बस.
So why is it important
सेम ही
then
है.
to replot it?
I have just to show it how to copy and paste a graph format. I have see this one we have created, the first one, the copy. I have copied the format from here, all the format I have copied, and then I am creating a normal graphs using the inbuilt. So this is, for example, this one plot the line using this basic 2D line. So now here the formattings are the default formatting that origin had. So if I want to change it, so that paste format, now the format, all those formats becomes whatever I have formatted in my previous graph. अच्छा.
सर
Yes.
सर अगर मैं जैसे दो डिफरेंट डेटास है मेरे पास, मैंने एक ग्राफ प्लॉट कर लिया, उसकी फॉन्ट साइज को भी सिलेक्ट कर लिया, सब कुछ बना लिया है। अगर जब मैं दूसरा वाला ग्राफ प्लॉट करने लगती हूँ तो क्या मैं पहले वाले ग्राफ का कॉपी फॉर्मेट एंड पेस्ट फॉर्मेट यूज करके उस वाले ग्राफ में डायरेक्ट लेके आ सकती हूँ वही फॉन्ट साइज वगैरह, या रीप्लॉट ही करना पड़ेगा
फॉन्ट
दोबारा से
कॉपी फॉर्मेट करके सेम करके ले सकते हो, कॉपी फॉर्मेट।
डिफरेंट डेटा के लिए भी?
हाँ, डिफरेंट डेटा के लिए भी
ओके
वो
सर।
फॉर्मेटिंग सेम रहेगा, बस डेटा का एक्सिस एंड एक्सिस का जो वैल्यूज रहेगा और एक्सिस रेंज रहेगा वो डिफरेंट होगा। इरेजर इरेजर ये है क्या? इरेजर ये वाला।
इसकी स्क्रीन शेयर करनी है।
हाँ,
इसकी
कर
स्क्रीन
दिया
शेयर करनी
कर
है।
दिया।
अच्छा
Okay, so any doubt till now? So now let's say let's take an examples of stacking, twice stack the image stack the plot stacked in y-axis. Like for example, let's say I have an FTI data. Those who like user FTI data they know. So for example, let's say stacking is these are your data will be stacked in three different. You have one x-axis, you have general y-axis. So in that some three graphs will be stacked in that. Okay, so you have some x value for example you have FTI spectra. So for comparison analysis you want it to stack in y-axis different for different sample one, sample two, sample three. Okay, so how you can do that stack? So for that, open the data set, data pressure V2. So these are some pressure data which time the pressure response. Okay. So similarly, the data, the type of the data are mostly similar to the XPS spectra or different spectra that you have, and our spectra also is relatively similar. So now, if I want all these stacked in y axis on three y I have here. So for example, now you have the pressure. Examples of pressure unit is Pascal. The time is second. So you have this sheet now. Time you have three pressure response from three different model A, B, and C. So to do that, now select all this. Select the workspace plot. Now here you have multi-panel and axis. See, you have a multi-panel and axis theme. Under multi-panel and axis theme, you have so here you have different multi-panel and stacking options. If you see the third row, you have vertical 2 panel, horizontal panel, 4 panel, 9 panel stack. What we are interested here stacking, right? In y-axis will be stacking it in.
Your working window is not visible.
Sorry, working windows. Okay. Sorry. Didn't get it. Can you please come front? I didn't hear it. See, I'm again telling you, don't go to the data analysis part. I'm not going to that part. I am not here discussing data type. I'm just working on numbers. Here I have only numbers. I have some numerics data. I'm just working on data. I'm not talking data types or something, whatever. Sorry? I don't know what you are talking. I'm not getting it. See, you are confusing. I'm not doing data analysis or types of data, whether it's a floating data or data. I'm not going to doing that, whether it's an integer or. I'm just working on some numbers. I have some numbers. I'm working on numbers only here. So I have selected the workspace here, then plot, go to the multi-panel axis. Here you have the stacking options. Okay, so stacking, remember that for using the stacking, you should have at least 2 white. Minimum you should have 2 white. Okay, for stacking. Otherwise, you will get an error. If you want to do the stacking for a single columns, you will get an error. So here you have some options here. Input time. So this is my data. The import times. Then plot type. So I'll be doing the line to line plot only since it's a response. So if I use the symbol, then it will be more chaotic. Then the directions, whether you want it in portrait mode or you want it in landscape mode. Okay, so you can select that also. Then the stack directions, whether you want stacking in vertical directions or you are stacking in horizontal directions. So that directions you have to go. So we want in the orientation will be our portrait, and you want our stacking as the vertical directions. Okay. Then layer order. Now you can do it you can keep model A at the bottom or model A at the top. Okay, so if you want to keep your model A at the bottom, then you have to select bottom to top. Or if it is if you want to have your model A at the bottom, at the top, then you have to select it top to bottom. Just a reverse, top to bottom and bottom to top. And the legend style. See, you have different options. No legend, legend for each layer, legend for whole page. So no legend means you understand that as a legend for each layer is now I have three layers, right? And we are having 3 layers. So I'm stacking here. So three different layers will be there. So every layer will have a legend. If you are selecting legend for each layer, one legend for whole page. All these if you have 3 different there will be differentiator that how you can differentiate model A, model B, model C, the stacking, and then accordingly you legend will generate. So let's see the preview here. Now you can see the preview here. You see the pressures. These are the pressures now again. Legend or vertical portrait stacked. Okay, so since my x-axis are same, right? All x-axis, my x-axis in my x-axis only the visible. Then you see the different you have different x-axis title pressure because pressure CD because in the sheet the C and D do not have any title, so that's why it taken as a C and D. If you select it, show one y-axis title, if you enable it, then click again click on preview. Now you see only you can change it later. Only C is there. So legend for each layer. Here I have legend for each layer. Now instead of legend for each layer, if I select one legend for whole page and preview, now you see you have model A, model B, model C. You have all the legends are in a are stacked in a single column. Okay. So let's do it for one legend for each layer. See now here you have three different layer here, right? Layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. So you layer 1 this, layer 2, layer 3. So to so let's change this one instead of. So stacking, is it clear? The formatting is more. Rest of the formatting is on the same. So like if you want to change the x-axis values, or you also want to change the y-axis or all this, it is same. Now remember one thing. While if you want to change the formatting, you have to do it for each layer. Layer 1, layer 2. If you are changing, if you are selecting over layer 1, you are changing something, it will change only to the layer 1. Then 2, 3. Can you come to the front seat, please? Yeah, it's at a different value, so it will change. Horizontal is because I have only one x-axis. I have only one x-axis and three y. So now from right click here, go now let's say layer management. So now see in that in the three layers, the three stacking plot, we do not have any space in between. Right? We don't have any space in between. So instead, if you want to give some space, if it is, there is an option like generally we don't do since we have a single, we have an only a common x-axis, we don't give that. But if you want, you can do that. Just like right click on that on the layer. Here, if you right click on the layers and then arrange layer options, in the arrange all options you have horizontal gap and vertical gap. So wherever you want, you can give the gap. For horizontal gap, let's say unit percentage of page. So instead of percentage of page, you change the unit to mm or as it is. So let's give 7 mm in horizontal gap. Sorry, horizontal gap doesn't make any sense. You see, I have given 5 mm of vertical gap. So I have some gap in between, right? Just remember to change the unit. If it is a percentage of page, then vertical gap, if you are giving 5% of vertical gap, it will be huge. So you just change the unit, spacing unit. Instead of see it's mm, So when you are changing, when you are formatting, changing the format, you don't need to like you are, first you do the for layer 3, then after once you apply the, then you do it for layer 2, then you do it for layer 1. Okay, this way you can do that in that in the axis properties tab itself. Second there. These may not important to you, but there are people graphs important. That is why I asked in the first session, if you have some important graphs. That, if you have certain data, that data can be visualized in 100 different ways, right? You will different in X, Y, I will do it Y, I will do it Y, someone will do it in Z. What I am doing in this thing is, I am just giving you some options that you can do. If you have this data, you can do either this one, either that, or either that. See, because, for example, you was working in some field, other people working in some other field, other people are working in some other field. Yeah, these thoughts are very important to the guys who are working on FKR data. These are very important to them. You have to compare the intensity, increase in intensity for different samples. It's very important to them for this kind of thing. Okay, so now the next examples will be the two y-axis. I have one x-axis now in one y-axis I have one variable in right in left side I have one variable in right side y-axis I have another variable. Okay, so for example let's say x I have x, then I will have two different y and each y will have in two different axes. Okay, so let's get some dummy data.
So your screen is not visible.
Sorry. Now is it visible?
Yes.
So I have some data. So I have x and y1 and y2. Just some dummy data. Okay. So now I want my y1. Y1 is my left y and y2 and left y axis. So for doing that, why you have to give examples of such like just working on numbers and plotting data, na? Okay, so again same multiple. If you see the multi-panel axis, there you have double y column and line. You have three options. Either you will have double y in line. So both the y axis will be scattered line or scattered. Double y column, both the y will be bar or column, right? Then y double y column and line. One axis will be your column, that will bar diagram, and other axis will be your line. Okay, so let's see the all three. So if I select double y line one, you see the black one is y1. It is in my left axis, and the right at the right axis you have different colors also. The different color, red color, it is my y2, right? So you have two y axis, y1, y2. Y1 is the left axis. So if you're doing it for plot, see you have y1 and y2. Both are now both are the column, but you have y1 and y2. So this is in left one is your column, and right one is your line or scatter plot.
Sir, please repeat this once more. Sir, please repeat this step once more.
So could you have any doubt on the double y-axis and stack? Clear to all of you?
Sir, please repeat it.
Which one, the double y?
Yes, sir, double Y.
Okay. So this is my these are the data. So I have x and two y, y1 and y2. Okay. So what I want, I want y1 in my left y-axis and y2 is my right y-axis. So for to do that, select the data, then go to plot. There you have multi-panel axis. So for double y, you have three options. At the top, you have three options. One double y, then one double y columns, and double y column and line. So the difference is for double y, the left and right both will have a line or scattered or line plus symbol plot. Then double y columns, both the y will have column, and double y column and line. It will have at the left side you will have an column, and at the right side you'll have a line. So let's see one by one. So if you see this double y line, so you see here the y1 is at the left side. You have y1 in red in blacks, and y2 you have different in the different colors. It is at the right axis. Similarly, if we do it for columns and line plot multi-panel columns and lines. So here you will have the y1 is in column and y2 as a line plus lines plus symbol. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Now let's see how to plot the error bars. Now let's say you have data for x and y, and you have x and y, and how your y came for a three set of experiments. You have done three set of repetition experiments. From three set of repetition experiments, there is some variation. From that variation, you have calculated standard deviation. So I am assuming that right now I'm not going how you will calculate standard deviation from 3. That we'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow classes. For time being, I'm assuming that I have calculated standard deviation from my 3 experiments. So I have x, and in y I have average value of my 3 experiments, and corresponding to that I have error. Okay, so x, y, and error. Now I want to calculate. My. I want to show the error bar also in the plot, so that I can do it in bar diagram and also in the line diagram. In line and symbols also I ready to bar diagram. This is the one case. Two cases. The second case is you the x, you are varying x also, and in x also you have some error in there. So there in the second case is you have x error as well as your y error. First case x, y, y error. The second case x error, y error. So on both the cases you can do it x error, y error, or only y error in y axis.
Apply in our finance systems. Like if you go for like liquidity, there are a lot of stocks. Investors are really pushing their stocks. Just from that, we have to like something like that will be bull market,
So why do you need visualization? Visualization for this, for data. That's why I'm telling you. You are just confusing data analysis. For Nifty on Nifty 50, there is visualization. They have high technology for visualizing their data. So they already have high technology for visualizing. Here we are talking about I have some data, how I will visualize my data. I will show it to some other people, audience, how I will visualize my data to audience. For visualizing Nifty 50 and Nifty 50, Bank Nifty or Sensex, they have high technology to visualize their data, to show their data to the audience. Okay, so these are some dummy data. I have X, I have Y, and I have given some Y error data. Okay, so these are some dummy data. Now you have two different ways to do it. There is already a template is there to do it. X, Y, and Y error. And also, if you are doing it in conventional way, then what you have to do, you have to change you have to set your the third y-axis, that is CY. You have to change it to Y error. Now, if you right click on it and set as, right click on it on the CY and see the set as, in the set as drop down, there you will have X, Y. Then at the bottom you will have X error, Y error. Set it to the Y error. Set, then you have X error and Y error. Now, if you set it to the Y error and plot this data, you see this error bar is there. Just a second. Now instead of line graphs, if you want to plot it as an column, so same plot, then bar diagrams, you click it on column, then you will have columns and with the error bar. So now let's say you have some error in X also. So I'm just inserting one more column here. Similarly, you have to change the column, so the set as now it is X error, right? Instead of Y error, now it will select it set as an X error plot. Now you see you have so if you see that this one, so you have error in y-axis as well as error in x-axis also, right? Similarly, you can do it for the for column also, the similar way. So just quickly, I'll show you how to do it using the template. So I'm just setting it again to the X. So this one I'll set it as an. So see here is the basic 2D. You have one is Y error and one is XY error. So if you click on XY error, the data points are there. So this one is for Y error. Now So for X and Y error, X and Y error, if you are using the template for what you have to do, you have X, Y, and the second Y will be your Y error, and third Y will be your X error. So you have to arrange your data accordingly. X, Y, then second Y, your Y error, third Y will be your X error, right?
सर
Yes.
सर जब हम कोई भी एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं तो हमारे पास एक्स एंड वाई एक्सिस का ही डेटा आता है, ये एरर वाला डेटा आप कहाँ से लेके आ रहे हो?
X and Y data, for examples, like for Y data, you have done three set of experiments for Y data. Okay,
Yes,
for
sir.
three set of experiments, and you are taking the average value of three data. The Y is actually the Y average here. The average value of three experiments. So that while taking your average value, you will have some standard deviations here. Standard deviations or some errors. You will calculate some errors or maybe the standard deviations. Okay, so in that case, you will have the standard deviation. If you are doing a single set of experiment, then there won't be any error. The error will come if you are averaging some values or your output. You are averaging your output from a set of data, like from set of experiments.
Sir. So you are taking this standard deviation as the error here.
Yeah, standard deviations or its error, whatever you are calling it, is to mostly like how the standard deviations in maximum and minimum, how it like maximum when how plus minus of the plus minus values mostly.
So sometimes you speak from far away from your laptop, so we are not able to hear. So sir, please be close to your laptop. Your voice got
Okay.
blurred.
Okay. Standard deviations. Yeah. You can let's do an examples here. Now you have to do it. I'll give you some conditions for that. Now you have to do it whatever you want. You can plot it in line or you can scattered, you bar, whatever you want. But I'll just give you a conditions. So I have three sample 1, sample B, and sample C. For three samples, there are some reactions. Is it okay? Reaction examples. Like all of you will understand the reactions if I give some reaction examples, or I give some like common examples. Okay. Brijesh. Brijesh.
किसी काम नहीं कर रहे हैं। चाहिए तो नहीं होता है, चार्ज तो देते हैं पे। फिंगर काम करती, फिंगर यहाँ से करेगी। उसमें कहाँ पे है? यूज फिंगर भी चलना तो चाहिए। चार्ज नहीं होती, चल रही है। इसी के साथ रखे थे ना, तो चार्ज हो गई फिर तो कर, अभी तो कर रहा है। अरे साहब,
Okay, so I'm taking three state and the voting percentage of last three general elections. Okay, so let us consider. So these are the three states: Delhi, Assam, and UP. So consider three general election: 2014, 19, and 24. So each elections, Assam. Sorry. Okay, so three different elections: 2014, 19, and 24. So each years Delhi have for each years they have the voting percentage. The 71%, 81%, 66% are the voting percentage. So how will you visualize this data? So anyone? Anything, whatever you coming in your mind, anything. Yeah, there are other problems also. A lot of problems are there. Again, I'm telling you, this is the basic data visualization. I'm working on exploration. I'm working on exploration. My PhD topic is itself is about exploration. So I started analyzing exploration data. So hardly one or two people will understand that. Hardly one or two people understand. So I'm not here explaining my PhD topic. I'm here explaining some general data, some general technique, conventional techniques how to visualize. This kind of system can't even handle explorated data. Okay, I'm showing it.
सर मेन स्क्रीन नहीं आ रही है.
Is it coming now?
Yes, sir.
See, I have just arranged the data in such a way. For Delhi, so I have three different Y, like in the three different Y. So 40% are Y axis. We have three different Y for Delhi, 71, 81, and 66. Okay, and Assam, same thing for that. Now I have plotted it in the column diagram. So instead of columns, you can do it. You can do it as an line also. But the problem is more visually attractive. You see, if you look into the both the graphs, you have one for this kind of data. You have one line plot, you have a bar diagram. So this is more visually attractive or more clear audience. Now, the next problem is, what if, like every year, now I have some one more layer to that. Instead of, like I have given the percentage, right? I have given the percentage. Instead of percentage, if I am giving, instead of percentage, I am giving the number of voters and non-voters. Like so, in 2014 for Delhi, I have 3 crore male voters, 3 crore female voters, and 1.5 crores children. That is like they are less than 80 years. So for every year now, if you have that kind of data. So okay, so how to plot this kind of data, this kind of graph. So that is some example. Like if you, instead of percentage, if I have the categorically, if I have the number of voters, male voters, female voters, and then you have the numbers you have not eligible for voting. Okay, male, female, and not eligible for voting. So if I have each category for each state and each election, so we will have 3 states. Then each state has 3 years, 3 different elections, and each election will have 3 different kind of data. So it's 3 by 3 by 3. So this will be kind of homework. Tomorrow first we will solve it. We will solve this kind of problems. And if you have any specific graph, bring it just send it to the WhatsApp group so that I will prepare some data based on that. I will prepare some data and I will show it tomorrow. Then we will start the statistics and the computing. Okay, so that's from my side for today. Now, if you have any questions or queries.
Sir,
Yes.
will you provide us the recording of these sessions?
Please ask the organizers if they recorded the sessions or not. I'm not sure whether they will be providing this or not. So please ask the organizer, please. Mostly they will do, but they just confirm it from the organizers.
Sir, the initial in the first lecture you told about how to import from the web. Sir, can you read that portion again? Sir, you actually gone very fast.
Okay, if I'm going for just to tell me little to make a little bit slow, I'll do that. But while talking, I don't exactly notice that one. So this is the website that you have that we are talking about that time. So is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
So this is the website where you have the world populations here. So now let us say I'm opening a new origin workspace. So here, go to the data, then you have connect to web. Click on the connect to web and paste your URL, that link. So you can preview the link. So this one is the link. Then click OK.
सर ये URL लिंक आपने वेबसाइट से लिया क्या?
हाँ, वेबसाइट से कोई भी वेबसाइट जो वेबसाइट से तुम्हें डेटा कॉपी करना है उसी वेबसाइट का लिंक देना है. So उसी वेबसाइट में if you look into the website, उसी वेबसाइट में देखो it has one table, one data table here. This one is one more data table. This one is one more data table. This is one more. So all these data tables, so these data tables, all these data tables are copied to the so origin. See, you have 5 different tables. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tables. Okay. So you click on that, click any of the tables, and then select data to import. Okay. First do any of the one, and then click on OK. Now you see first one is like you have imported first tables. Then for second tables you right click and connect as a new sheet. Okay, so once you connect as a new sheet, then you will have one new sheet with that second table data. For third table, same, connect, right click, select and right click, connect as new sheet. So these are the data, all this data. Is it clear now?
That means you have put up the URL and then click on OK. Then these table 5 tables will come.
Yes, this first we like consist of 5 data tables. Now, like whatever the data that URL have or that website have, so Origin will extracted those data and input it to its workspace.
And sir, you told about 3 more options here. No change. मेरे को exactly याद नहीं आ रहा, पर आपने बोला था no change अगर कोई भी change कर दिया है आपने डेटा में.
Okay. So this
Sir, एक बार वो
this
बता
import options, right? Import option, right? So
Yes,
once
sir.
you click on connectors, and then you will have auto import. So none on project opens or on change. So none is, or this is actually, now if you have a data set in CSV or in Excel, so after importing, you have made some changes in that. So so once after changing, you don't need to re-import the data again if you have enabled the on project open or on change enabled. So then what will happen? The original automatically re-import those data as soon as the changes happen to your source data set. So you have to select this on change here.
सर मतलब आप ये बोल रहे हो ना, जैसे हमने txt फाइल में डेटा होता है सर, एक तो
हाँ।
स्क्रीन ना पीछे चल रही है नेटवर्क स्लो होने की वजह से। जैसे हमने txt फाइल में जो डेटा था वो हमने इंपोर्ट कर लिया है, उसके बाद हम चेंज कर रहे हैं ओरिजिन में लेके आने के बाद।
हाँ, ओरिजिन में आने के बाद अगर कुछ चेंजेस किए तो वो चेंजेस ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाएगा अगर इंपोर्ट ऑप्शन सिलेक्ट करें तो।
सर ऑन चेंज ऑप्शन ओपन रखना है या ऑन प्रोजेक्ट ओपन?
ऑन प्रोजेक्ट ओपन ऑन चेंज है कि तुरंत जब भी कुछ चेंजेस करोगे तुरंत उसमें हो जाएगा। ऑन प्रोजेक्ट ओपन फिर से जब नया प्रोजेक्ट ओपन करोगे, आफ्टर क्लोज करके नया जब ओपन करोगे then only the changes you will see the changes. So this is the difference. On change option enable होगा तो जब as soon as you saved your file, so the change visible to your workspace. On project open, you have to close your project, then again you have to reopen it, then only you will be able to see the changes. स्टैटिस्टिक इसके कंटिन्यूशन में ही है।
हाँ, बट उसने रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं किया तो आज उसने ट्रेन नहीं किया।
वो ऑर्गेनाइजर पे पूछ
मतलब वो रजिस्ट्रेशन करेगी बट वो बोले थे कल आके ही करेगी, तो ऑनलाइन लिंक में तो पॉसिबल नहीं है।
कल उसको बुला लो।
और आप प्लीज कल इनोवा एक बार बता दीजिए।
ठीक है, मैं कोशिश करता हूँ क्योंकि एनोवा थोड़ा लंबा है, वो उसके एक सेशन एनोवा में लग जाएगा, क्योंकि नहीं तो मैं कवर नहीं कर पाऊंगा बाकी चीजें। एक सेशन एनोवा में ही लग जाएगा।
मैंने तो उसी के लिए ही
एनोवा बहुत लंबा है, एनोवा इसीलिए वो सिलेबस से हटा दिया था, जो उसमें जो कंटेंट था कंटेंट से हटा दिया था, क्योंकि बहुत
वन वे एनोवा सीखना है उसको, वो भी लंबा है। पर वन वे एनोवा जो है वो वाला
पहले तो एनोवा करवाने के लिए मुझे एनोवा है क्या वो समझाना होगा लोगों को, क्योंकि कम लोगों को पता होगा वो चीजें। एनोवा है क्या वही समझाना होगा पहले, उसके बाद आके फिर, क्योंकि मैंने कभी किया नहीं एनोवा। बस वो ओरिजिन में वो कुछ वीडियोस देखा था एनोवा कैसे करते हैं, तो वही है, मैंने भी कभी किया नहीं है। मैं ट्राई करता हूँ।
मेरा डाटा है इसमें, मतलब मेरे 5 रिएक्टर्स है वेस्ट वाटर ट्रीटमेंट का है, तो मतलब 5 रिएक्टर्स है और 10 वीक 12 वीक लॉन्ग स्टडी है।
ओके,
तो ऐसे ही प्लॉट कर रहे हैं तो मतलब बहुत कंजेस्टेड हो गया, 12 वीक्स भी हो गए, तो इसको और कैसे प्लॉट कर सकते हैं? मतलब मैंने एक और तरीके से किया था रिन्यूएबल एफिशिएंसी, और ये जो ग्रीन है ये वेस्ट वाटर है, येलो है ट्रीट होके जो हमारा आ गया। तो मैंने ऐसे इसको कोशिश की था बनाने के लिए।